Hi. Glad to be with you. Today is early Thursday, I guess it would be. It's about 1:30 in the morning here on Thursday. Just finished a real nice busy day. Was out of town tonight with my baseball team. I coach a 15-year-old traveling team, and today we were about an hour away for an 8:30 start. It was a rough start. We started getting beat early on, but we came back and won, so that was all nice to do. I had a nice day today. Had a very interesting conversation with somebody this morning. Somebody who had just recently lost their mother. And the interesting thing about this family, he's in his mid-50s, and mother was in her 80s. And she got diagnosed with cancer, sadly, but ended up passing away just 5 days after that. To which he was grateful for, because she was in a little bit of pain, and she passed without suffering a whole bunch. It was spread throughout her body. But the interesting thing about this situation and this conversation was that the mother was adopted very young in life, and as was the gentleman I was speaking to, as well as his sister was also adopted. And this person spent a lot of their time giving back to the community, has made a career of it. And the story about his mother was, and when he wanted to talk about that since her passing, he's found out so much about her, because she had a biological sister who had grown up in the town beside, and there wasn't a whole lot of connection there. She was the oldest, and when her younger sister, who he was just speaking of, they were having a younger brother, and the mother, this is back in like the 20s, died during childbirth, along with her little brother. And her father, distraught, didn't think he could raise them, and put them up for adoption. And at that time, basically left them at an orphanage. Her sister got adopted early in life, or early from the time at the orphanage, and she got into foster care later, when she was about 11 or 12, and then was about to expire from the system until this foster family adopted her. Her father wanted to reconnect at some point, and had moved up north about 5 hours. And when she was about 12, went up to go see him and this new woman that he was living with. And essentially this new woman didn't want her as part of the life that they were building together, and bought her a bike, oddly enough, and sent her back home. And what it made me think about was, it's so interesting the way that we can narrow down our paradigm of life in order so that we can manage it, so that we can, in order to understand it, so that we, in order for that us to have this sense or this feeling that we can move on. Oftentimes at great cost. And I'm well read in the idea of having limiting beliefs, but I started to think about my own life and thinking about the lives of those around me, and seeing where relationships with others, expanding them isn't welcome. That the relationship has reached some sort of level of comfort, and that doesn't mean that it's functioning healthily necessarily, or that it's in the best state that it could be. It's just operating at a comfortable level. And how a threat of something comes that may upset the balance of this comfort level we've established, this narrow comfort level that we've established within this relationship. How we reject it, because it would upset the balance of how we view ourselves, of how we view our lives, the story, our life story that we've settled on, doesn't fit so well perhaps with these new circumstances. And it's really a place where our identity or the story that we've told about ourselves really can hold us back from experiencing all that we could be. Because going back to the story, finding out these things about his mother after she had passed, there was so much opportunity there for so much love and connection to have been reconciled and expanded upon and created in the family. But these rigid ideas of all that the relationship could be really stonewalled a lot of that potential growth. And then, of course, that has a massive effect on the people who are affected beneath the level of the decision, the kids and the periphery, people who are attached, who are affected by the outcome of these decisions to keep certain parameters around relationships. And so it just got me thinking to raise the issue of challenging where we keep our lives small, in particular with relationships, such that at least we can know what it is. But sometimes knowing exactly what it is, or at least telling yourself you know exactly what it is, isn't really the truly greatest unlimited expression of what we're here to do anyways. That's my thought for today. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love for you to pose any content. I love this time we spent together. Have a great one.